so I guess we can go ahead and get started.
And are you coming on
Vinay was gonna say hi, but he's kind of busy, so it might just be me for most of the time today.
Okay, great.
And if you hear Vinay in the background, then I'm sorry, he's on the phone. All right, so let me share my presentation.
Okay.
There we go. All right. So, like I said, welcome back to our Seasider series, everyone. Excited to have you here today. My name is Caden, as always, and I'm a student assistant here at the International Student Services Office. We also have Vinay, who might pop in, but like I said, he's busy, but if he does pop in, he'll introduce himself.
I totally understand.
And so for today, we are talking about fun on the island. That's the name of our session. And we're talking about basically just the different fun activities and locations around the island, especially since it's going to be summer soon and some of you guys might be arriving soon or for the fall. It's great to know the different beaches and activities to go and do on the island. First, just wanted to talk about our island that we're on, the island of Oahu. It's the most populated island of Hawaii and has the most cities and stuff, but even though it's the most populated, there's still lots and lots of, I guess, wilderness, jungle, and natural things to do that are fun. So, you can see on here, there's right here, that's the Polynesian Cultural Center, so that's right where we are in Laie. And then down on the south side is Honolulu, right over here. And as you can see in this map, there's like stuff all over the island. This map doesn't even include everything that's on the island.
Is this the Tony?
And then specifically, like I said, we're located on the north shore of the island, and the north shore is known for being like the most natural, I guess, part of the island. We call it the country, and there's a lot of the most beautiful beaches and hikes right here on this side of the island that we're on. So we're very blessed to be here on the north shore. And so the north shore, of course, it has our campus. There's Polynesian Cultural Center, which is a big location that's visited on the island for tourists. And then the North Shore is also known as one of the best surfing locations in the world. They hold some huge surfing competitions here every fall. And I'll talk about that more later on. Then, like I said, there's also a great hike. There's beautiful waterfalls, and there's also some good places to find food. And so for today, I'm really going to focus more on the activities that are located on the North Shore. All right, so first, just wanted to talk about some of the beaches, because these are some of the things that students go to the most here. And so first, there's a few different beaches right in Laie that you can walk to. And so these are good to know for when you're new, just to go and visit. And if you just want to go and hang out without having to, use a car, then these are great places to go.
To have your housing either on campus
the closest beach to campus is probably
you have a choice.
known as Bikini Beach,
you have to talk to housing first.
A bit of an interesting name, since according to honor code, you're not supposed to wear those, but it's called Bikini Beach, and it's like pretty close to campus, like right down the road.
Yeah, we will send you
right across from McDonald's. And
we have
there's also Temple Beach, which is right across from the temple, and it's also pretty close to campus within walking distance. And both of these beaches are pretty chill beaches. They don't usually get super huge waves, so they're good places to just go hang out in the sun, maybe go in the water a little bit. But they're the more chill beaches located near campus. And then the other two beaches around Laie are Hukilau Beach and Pounders Beach. And Hukilau Beach, these ones are a bit farther, but you can still walk to them. And so Hukilau Beach, I would say, is probably the most populated beach. Usually it's the busiest beach in Laie. A lot of people come and visit, a lot of locals and a lot of tourists.
That is something we are working on.
Both of these beaches get bigger waves. In the winter especially, they can get some very large waves that are good for body surfing or boogie boarding.
I totally agree. I totally understand that.
Yeah, like if you're not careful, you can get pounded, just like in the name Pounders Beach. So these ones get bigger waves. They're really fun.
2020.
And Pounders Beach probably gets the biggest wave of any of the places on the island. A lot of people come here to boogie board, and I've even seen some people trying to surf there as well. But they're both good beaches.
I totally understand that.
And all these beaches
are go ahead and
fun
work
places
it out
to visit.
and see what we could do for you.
All right, and then now I'm going to talk about the more general area of the North Shore. So these ones will require like a car or the bus to get to. But these are still what I consider some of the best beaches on the island, and definitely the best beaches to visit on the North Shore. So first, we talk about Turtle Bay. So this is a resort that's actually located on the North Shore.
Okay, can you put me on hold?
I think it's about like 10 minutes away, maybe. And and everyone's interrupting. It's about 10 minutes away, and it's another pretty chill beach. Doesn't get too big of waves, but it has a nice little cove or bay right there. A lot of people like to snorkel there and look at the fishes and stuff in there. And this side of the resort, a lot of people go surfing there as well to get some good waves for that. Also, you didn't hear this from me because technically you're not supposed to, but a lot of students, I'm not recommending to do it, but a lot of students will go and go in the hot tub at the resort. They'll like try to sneak in and stuff, but so that's another thing that a lot of people do. But you know, I'm not going to encourage that because I would get in trouble. But moving on, the next beach is Waimea Bay, and this is a bit farther, still on the North Shore though. And this is one of the most popular beaches on the island, one of the most well-known beaches on the island, possibly the world. And I would say it's probably my favorite beach on the island. It's a really big bay, and it's really pretty. And then there's this rock right here that people like to climb up and jump off of. It's a really good thing to visit when you're new here, to try and jump off the rock. It's a lot of fun because it's not like ridiculously high, but it's still high enough that it's kind of scary and a good new experience. But Waimea Bay gets some huge waves in the winter. They don't do it on a specific like routine or schedule, but every so often they'll have a surfing competition here called the Eddy, and it's for big wave surfing. So they only do it when there's like massive waves, so they don't do it every year. I think it's been a while since they last did it actually, but it's pretty awesome and it's a great beach. It's probably the most crowded beach though, hard to find parking, so you want to try to go in the morning if you go. All right, the next two beaches are Sunset Beach and Bonsai Pipeline, or just Pipeline, and these two beaches are located like right next to each other. Sunset Beach is another one that's really well known on the island. A lot of people go there, a lot of tourists, a lot of students, a lot of locals. But Sunset Beach gets its name because it's kind of self-explanatory. The sunsets there are supposedly some of the most beautiful on the island, and it's a nice beach to visit. This place, Sunset Beach, gets pretty good sized waves as well. Both of these beaches do, and that is why they are two of the most well-known beaches for surfing as well. And especially Pipeline. It's basically in the name Pipeline because the waves form pipes that people can surf. Pipeline's like right next to Sunset.
So how do we surf?
It's a big draw for surfers especially. So these are both good beaches. I think they're probably like 15 minutes away from campus if you drive. And yeah, so there are a lot of great beaches to visit, and it's super fun to visit them all. There's even more beaches. I'm just talking about some of the main or more better known ones. Then, other than beaches, there's some other just locations that have fun activities or things to do. So one popular place is Sharks Cove. This is a place that people like to go surfing. I mean, not surfing, snorkeling. And so they'll, go with the snorkel gear and look at the fish in the water in this rocky kind of area. But it's a fun place to visit. Not my favorite. I think it's overrated personally, but it's still a good thing to try out and visit. And then there's also Waimea Falls. So this is located right across from my Waimea Bay, the beach. And it's kind of like a nature reserve place, and you can walk on this path that goes to these waterfalls, and you can swim under the waterfall if you want. It's a nice place. Yeah. Definitely a place to keep on your list to visit. All right. Other than like beaches and activities, there's also, like I said, like good places to try food and try eating. So one place is in Kahuku, and Kahuku is like the town right next to Laie, right next to campus. So it's probably like a 5-minute drive or less. And if if you were dedicated, you could even walk there, but it might be kind of far walk.
You can come anytime before 23rd.
Kahuku, it has this big area of food trucks that there's just a bunch of different food trucks that serve all kinds of food there. And a lot of tourists go there, but it's still fun to go as a student as well and try some of the different food. But because a lot of tourists go there, it's kind of expensive. But like I said, still something to try for sure. And there's a lot of good food. I just went there last week.
Are you Iowa student?
Also, there's a town on the North Shore called Laie.
So if you're
this is another big tourist town.
Because you're
there's a lot of different shops and restaurants to eat there, and some well-known places. There's a shave ice place, which is this Hawaiian, well-known like Hawaiian culture type of food. It's basically where they have ice and put like flavoring in it and some stuff on top of it. It's really good, but there's a really well-known place there called Matsumoto's that serves the shave ice and a bunch of other restaurants as well. And then finally, there's a place called Ted's Bakery. It's not really located in any specific town. It's just on the North Shore kind of by itself. But it's really well known for its pies. It serves, especially haupia pie. So haupia is like a coconut kind of cream, and its pies are really good. Definitely something to try as well. And they also serve like local types of Hawaiian food as well there.
Clarify that with the immigration office as well.
All right. For the last part, I wanted to talk about, like I mentioned, there's surf competitions, and so even if you're not a surfer, these things are really fun to check out, and definitely something that I recommend that everyone should go and watch. Because I mean, I barely surf, and even people who don't surf at all, it's still super cool to see the professional surfers in these competitions who are like riding these crazy waves. It's super awesome. And a lot of people will gather for these. So these are held in the fall. So if you're here for fall semester, it'll be going on. They're held towards the end of the semester. I think it starts in December. But there's 3 main surf competitions that happen. They're all part of the same overall Triple Crown thing. So there's the Hawaiian Pro, the World Cup of Surfing, and the Billabong Pipe Masters. And they're on, because they have to have big enough waves for the surf competition, they're not on set dates. They'll just have like a time period of like a week or 2 where they might have the surf competition. And on a day when the waves are big enough, they'll send it out on the day of. They'll say, okay, we're having a surf competition today. So you kind of have to be on the lookout for when they're going to have them. But usually they're located between December and January. And both of all the competitions are located at either Sunset Beach or Pipeline. And yeah, they're super fun to check out. And I would say a must for if you're here during that time frame.
Wow.
All right, so that is kind of everything that we had for today. And we're going to do part 2 of this tomorrow. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about some of the different hikes on the island, because there's tons of different hikes to do all over the island, in the mountains and in the jungle. And the hikes are honestly probably my favorite part of the island, because there's so many cool hikes, so many great things to do. And then I'll also talk about, you know, the other sides of the island other than the North Shore. So the south side that has Honolulu and Waikiki, and then the west side of the island also has some nice beaches and things to do as well. All right, so thank you guys for joining today. It was a bit shorter today so far, but yeah, I was glad to share with you about some of the things that we have to do around here on campus. And if you guys have any questions for me about the different things to do around Laie or on the North Shore or anywhere on the island, then now's the time to ask.
So can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's the closest beach, or where's the closest place I can go and do diving?
Go into diving?
Yeah.
Like scuba diving?
Yeah.
Okay, so well, I'm not sure actually where the closest people go scuba diving, but I know there's a campus dive club, right, that is devoted specifically for scuba diving. So if you join that club, then they'll certify you if you're not already certified, and they'll provide the gear and stuff. I think you have to pay a fee of a couple $100 because the equipment's not cheap, but I did it one semester and it was really fun. It's something I definitely recommend. I should have included it in the presentation, but I forgot about it. That's another great thing to do. Scuba diving is super cool. And when I did it, we did it in Honolulu, but I think they go to closer beaches as well if you stay in the club. But like the certification that I did was in Honolulu. So, but it was awesome. Definitely recommend.
Wow. Thank you, though.
Mm-hmm.
I have another question, just a quick question. When you mentioned about Honolulu, so how long does it take from Laie to Honolulu to like time travel? Like
it's about an hour away if you're driving. If you take the bus, it's closer to like an hour and a half or 2 hours. The bus is slow and has to stop. But driving, it's like an hour.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right.
Sorry. When we want to do the surfing, do we have to buy our boards, or we have to like purchase? How to call it? Rent them.
Yeah, you don't have to buy them. There's plenty of places to rent from. There's the campus bookstore.
Oh, yeah.
Actually rents out surfboards that you can get. And then additionally, there's just students on campus who have surfboards who rent them out sometimes. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to buy one.
Okay, thank you though. Yeah, because I really wanna know about it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's something to try for sure. Any other questions? All right. If not, then thank you guys for joining today. Like I said, it was a bit shorter than normal. That's all good. I had a lot of fun talking about the great things to do here on the island. And tomorrow we're going to do part 2. So make sure not to miss out on that. I'm going to talk about my favorite things, the hikes. And yeah, I say it over and over, but thank you guys so much for joining, and hope to see you tomorrow. So that, mahalo and aloha.